public testimony.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman and representatives. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Ed DePriest, and I am a Hayden Council member, but I'm representing my own opinions. I've sent you much more detailed testimony and emails and would take far more than the time allotted because this is not about, as the author states, to provide clarity. It is about the state infringing on the autonomous rights of cities to conduct their meetings as is best for them. So I'll read fast and summarize at this time. Until recently, the City of Hayden Council meetings had been operating just fine for decades. When a council member routinely consumes meeting time while injecting ideology and personal beliefs into issues that should be based on what is in the best interest of the citizens, and/or a council member makes erroneous assertions to the public suggesting the state requires local municipalities to follow Masons or Roberts, and misinformation is spread through social media and other communications, which causes divisiveness and confusion in the community about the state requiring the use of Masons or Roberts procedure and other council processes. And when a council member does not avail themselves of the opportunity to discuss with the mayor agenda and consent calendar issues and their placement prior to the agenda, it results in council creating a process, which the Hayden Council did following process. In summation, any council member has access at any time to the mayor to discuss agenda issues. Problem presents itself when the council member rarely communicates with the mayor, let alone regarding consent and agenda. At any time, a council member may request an item to be placed on the agenda or removed. Any council member prior to the meeting may request a consent item be placed elsewhere on the agenda, but when a council member rarely communicates with the mayor, it presents a problem. When the consent calendar is called, any council member may motion to remove it. If there's a second to the motion, then as with all motions, there is complete and open discussion in open session. If after discussion, a majority votes to remove the item, it may be removed to later that meeting or future meeting. Even if there is no motion to remove the item, there is always a call for discussion on any consent item. At that time, any
Ed, you're going to need to wrap up your testimony.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, real quickly. This is about the state removing the autonomous rights and the integrity of a council. Finally, I'm a lifelong Ronald Reagan conservative Republican, and Reagan often said that governance should be at the most local level possible, and I see this proposed legislation as an attempt by a state legislator to inject the state into dictating how municipalities conduct their business. I respectfully ask that you deny HB 172. I thank you for your service to Idaho, and I'm available for discussion and clarification at any time.
Thank you, Ed. Are there questions today for Ed? Representative Heather Scott has a question for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Ed, I'm curious if your city is part of the Idaho Association of Cities who testified in favor of this.
Let me see, I'll do this right. Mr. Chairman and Representative, yes, we are. And in fact, you know, the city did not even hear or find out about this until a couple of days ago. So we had not had the chance to reach out to the Idaho Association of Cities. We had discussion yesterday about reaching out to them. Again, this is about the autonomous ability of a city to deal with their particular situation that presents itself. We do not have Robert's rules. We do not have not adopted Masons. I'm not going to disagree that it is probably a good idea for each city to provide their develop their own individual manuals, but we do not, and we are not required. And the city has forever basically operated as it has without any issues. So I guess in answer to your question, yeah, we are a member. Sorry about that.
Any further questions? Ed, I've got a question for you. So you stated you don't adopt Roberts, you don't adopt Masons. What do you use then as the rules to govern your meetings?
I think, as you stated, it is probably most likely ordinances and resolutions or whatever. This has been a big discussion with our legal, and we are kind of working our way through this. But to be honest with you, this is my third year as a council member. And my guess is that and this is part of the problem why somebody mentioned the fact that they looked into it and couldn't even find the previous ordinance and that the attorney had to remove it. And that's kind of what happened here. This is somewhat of a cleanup operation so that we do have a policy to go by to deal with what has recently presented itself. When you consider the history of Hayden, they have basically operated, boy, people can see, I guess they see I'm on here. They basically operated with no problems until this issue has presented itself. But
All right.
I agree. I think we should develop a procedure manual.
Oh, yeah, you certainly should have one. All right. Any further questions for Ed? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony today.